Hello everyone and welcome back to the Max Dragon Soul channel. Today I recently achieved a new personal best in NES Tetris and I wanted to share it with you all. This broke multiple milestones for me and I just like to explain everything that goes on throughout the game. So we start off the game already with a little dodgy board. You've got a left side that's not really filled in that much. So we have to take a burn as our first line clear, but we do get a Tetris. And we're going to follow this up with many more to come to score as high as 1.2 million. You need a seriously high Tetris rate. So, we've only taken the one burn so far, but we've got a well on the left side that we need to fill in. For some reason I put the long bar all the way over to the left, but I luckily get another one, and that is used for a skim. Is it a skim? That's not a skim. It's a line clear. Who cares? Right. So I'm forced to take a burn here, take another here before getting another Tetris. My next piece sets me up for another, and I'm just waiting on the long bar. There's another Tetris. And one thing you'll notice with my games is that I have these chasms in the middle. That long bar placement in the middle was not ideal. I was planning to put it on the left, but then I saw the square piece coming, so I quickly had to kind of dead drop it in the middle, because there was not enough time to get it over to anywhere that actually would have been useful to me. Then for some reason I paused the game here. I'm not really sure why I paused the game, but we do resume the game here. I think I paused again for some reason. Though I do believe this is the last pause in the entire run, so it's fine. I genuinely wonder how long this pause... Okay. So I am paused here, and I've got to make an awkward placement immediately. So I've got to get rid of that line, and luckily I get the exact right pieces. Okay. I need to know what I was doing. I've actually completely forgotten what I was doing. And there's a miss drop there. That's a dodgy left side, but again, a long bar will access that. And what do I get? A long bar. I'm also entirely clean, and I decide to put that there before getting a pretty lucky long bar again to shove to the right for another Tetris, get the stack down a little. We are on a decent pace at the moment. We have 234,000 at 48 lines, which is quite solid. You can definitely get a 600k transition off of a pace like that, which is what I will end up doing. The game continues. My stack is getting better and better. I'm, adapting more to the left to right curve. That kind of thing. You want to have your left high and your right low. Anything you don't need, you shove to the left, essentially. And the whole reason you want your left to be high is so that when you've filled in the left, you can then go for the middle, and then if your stack gets too high, you can use the right to burn. And you'll typically want to keep a double well, but I don't think I did a lot of that in this game. I might have done it at certain points, but it's not a main factor of how I play, since I do play for quite high efficiency. If you're constantly with a double well, you're relying on too many long bars to keep your efficiency, so you would instead be burning a couple lines per Tetris. You'd be burning one line per 2 lines of stack, essentially, just to get them ready for a Tetris. Now I do a nice overhang like that, it gets cleared quickly, another Tetris. There are a lot of Tetrises scored in this game. Now, that's not a misdrop, I just couldn't think of a place to put that. So now I'm just trying to burn away the stack. Another very awkward placement in the middle, there was nothing better for that, and I believe I drilled the stack all the way back down. I'm like, I've got 420k at 85 lines, I can afford to just go down. I've had several instances in the past where I decide to play aggressive still and try to burn the stack down with Tetrises, and that often ends up with my demise. We are approaching the 100 line mark. If you want a 600k, getting 450 or higher at 100 lines is practical. Anything less than that and you would have to play very risky towards 130 lines, which is the transition. Unfortunately I have to cover up the well briefly but it is uncovered with that piece there. Stack is quite high. I need a long bar. I get a tuck in, take a double, and another Tetris. The board is getting back to a decent shape. I take a quick burn there. Again, if I was playing aggressive, I probably would have placed it elsewhere and tried to get a tuck, but again, this game, I was feeling quite risk-free. I don't take many risks in here. So this is essentially a game where almost pretty much no mistakes happen in this game, because I'm just playing safely. I'm throwing away like a Tetris every now and then, but obviously that's necessary in a game as punishing as NES Tetris. So here we are, you know, 9 lines from transition, and I've got my board stacked up pretty high. Not an ideal situation, but guess what? We get the 2 exact right pieces to get in there. Unfortunately, we now have that left side. I keep it open. I didn't want to create a long bar dependency, and I barely get that long bar over, and I take the triple to get the stack down. Now that's brilliant, and we've transitioned with 619k. Now what happens from here through to level 25 is astounding to me. All the way through levels 19 to 24, I play some of the best Tetris I have played in my entire life. The stacking efficiency, just how clean everything was, and the RNG was very favourable. The long bars came at the exact right moments for me in these instances. So even though I have an overhang like that, I don't use that piece to create a double well. I fill it in with the T piece, just so that I don't have to burn any lines. And that's something you might be noticing now. I am not burning any lines here. I am going for straight Tetrises, just ploughing them through, and just not taking any burns. I am just not taking any. See, I did say I was playing safe, but when you're playing with a stack this clean, sometimes it's not necessary to take burns. You can if you want to be more, I suppose, reassured or safer with your play, but as you can see, I have not burned, and I only start burning at this point. So I think 20 maybe, and 21 and 22 had no burns. So that's about 3 levels with no burns. Wild. And it's at this point when I realise, yeah, this just got real. And I suddenly realise, wait, I could max out on level 25. Now, the earliest I've ever maxed out before is, I believe, right at the end of 26, maybe in the middle. So a 25 max would be very good for me. Unfortunately, I put that long bar on the left where the square should have gone, but I didn't see the square coming in time, and I'm forced to burn a few lines here because I get droughted a little. I'm not set up for a Tetris, and I don't have any pieces to cleanly burn with. I'm just taking the burns when I can, waiting for the long bar. Stack is getting higher, create overhang, and get the Tetris for the max out into level 26. So that's my first ever level 25 max out. You also see the scores flickering. I'm using a Game Genie, which allows me to uncap the score, so it can go above 1 million, but it still keeps glitching back to 9s, because that's how much the game is usually allowed to display. It shouldn't go higher, but a Game Genie makes it go higher. I achieve a 1.1 million on level 27, again something that I have never done before. Lots of milestones. And the final milestones to break here both come at once. 600k post-transition, my best post is 580, and 1.2 million. And at this point, I'm 4k away, well, 3k away basically, but no, I still go for the Tetris, and I'm saving myself up for one last Tetris. Unfortunately, I'm getting droughted, and I'm forced to take that. I take one line there, shove a T piece to the right for one last line, and the long bar comes, and it snags. And there we go, level 29. So, that was my game. 1,236,940 points. Broke several personal milestones. Got the 600k post, the 1.2 million, the max out at level 25, the 1.1 at 27. lots of things were done in this game, and I plan to take this game further. I've been getting consistent at max outs over the past week or so. I've been doing increasingly well at getting 1.1s as well, and this 1.2 was the result of a decent pre-transition and my best ever post. And I believe that with a good pre-transition of maybe 650 or higher, and improving at my post, it is possible in the coming months to get a 1.3. And that is a goal I will be striving towards in those coming months. See you next time.